up, or if your house burns, then yeah, they come after you for whatever they paid out. It's a whole different mindset, and you have to be real careful with what you're doing. The real positive to what we do, and I think and kind of show this is if you can get through those hurdles, and if you can get to the point and work with somebody that understands the business, to have a clear understanding of what your bonding credit is will give you a heads up within your competitors that a lot of your competitors will not have. And the result of that is hopefully more and profitable work. And that's what we're really all kind of in here for. So again, I hope I didn't turn this into too much of a Chicken Little deal, but that's just kind of a broad stroke on the industry. And if anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to take them now, or I think all my contact information's in there somewhere, and you can give me a call there as well.
I have a question. When you go for the bonding and they get your financial statement, your bank accounts, your property, your 401ks and everything else, how do they analyze that compared to the company when they put your limit on how much they'll bond you for?
Yeah.
Because you said if you have a liability, they go after you. If you can, if you're good for that,
Yeah.
how do they come up with that limit?
Yeah. I'll take my broker hat off and put my underwriter hat back on, to answer that question. When a submission comes into an insurance, to a bonding company, they're looking at it, and the first thing they're looking at is what's in the company. Who's going to be the operating entity, and what is going to support that operating entity? So if it's Bob's Construction, they're going to want a financial statement on Bob's Construction that's going to have, the cash and accounts receivables and the payables and maybe the equipment, whatever, and the net worth of Bob's Construction. That's going to be the primary thing they're looking at. Any kind of secondary assets are usually the indemnity assets. But of those indemnity assets, there's a lot of things that surety companies quite honestly can't really do anything. And the reason is that what they want are things that they can get quick. They don't want to be dealing with selling property. They can't do anything with your 401ks or your retirement. It's an asset to you, but a surety company can't take your 401k, and quite honestly, and this is probably no secret to anybody, they're really not interested in taking your house either, because the public relations nightmare of doing that. So, when you submit a package, the thing that you're looking at first and foremost is the operating entity, and then the secondary assets that you have, might be some personal equipment, it might be an equipment company, it might be some other things, but they will discount pretty heavily any things that can't be fairly quickly converted into cash.
Do they discount cash?
They don't discount cash. No, cash
So let's
is
say
cash.
cash.
Everybody loves cash.
So
Everybody loves cash. Got a lot of cash, no bank line, that's great. No bank debt, that's even better.
you've answered my question.
Yeah.
Because I guess it depends on the underwriters, and it depends on probably the broker that it falls in the hands of.
It does. Yeah.
And the complacency
Yeah,
of the
it does.
company.
It does.
Okay.
Yeah, because trying to, if you take an account and you're trying to sell a 5% case account, in other words, an account that's really stretched out relative to financial abilities, it's a different story than selling one that's not quite as stretched out. So if it is pretty stretched out, they're going to look pretty hard at what the composition of those assets are. There's a lot of cash, not a lot of debt, things that they can convert pretty quick. It's a lot easier to sell than it is, otherwise.
So now you're talking insurance in a way. When you were first talking, you were talking that it's credit, but it's sort of that 5%. That's the insurance part as far as whether it's a risk.
No, it's not really an insurance thing. It's really the sort of the maximum amount of credit, and it's a language that's used more in the surety underwriting and brokerage community in terms of what is the percentage case, and they usually mean what is the total amount of uncompleted work that a contractor might have relative to the net worth of the contractor's operating entity. So it may not just be one job. It's the total work program. Anybody else? A happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.